Wack a snitch. Wack is a cop working.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely.
The absurd thing is that the evidence I'm going to provide to you will definitively establish who told on Dario, despite the fact that the street is now blaming one another for snitching on Durk and bringing down OTF.
Doubt that my big homie is talking to the cops.
Brick Baby and Wack 100 have been at each other's throats for years, even though they both worked for Adam 22. In 2022, Brick Baby went on a well-known platform and disclosed that Wack was undoubtedly working with the federal government, particularly because he had too much information about Quando Rondo's shooting in Atlanta.
Wack a snitch. Wack is a cop working. You notice every time something happens in the street, like with the Quando Rondo situation, how do you know so much about a motherfucker? Like, I don't even know that much about that. You talk about he done robbed him and did this. Like, how do you know this unless you getting posted?
Wack had disclosed that it was a drug deal gone wrong when Quando Rondo was shot and killed in Atlanta.
Y'all thought that was a bad drug deal, weed deal. You know that. The world thought that that shooting was a bad weed deal between some Armenians or Persians. That's what the world.
Even World Star Hip Hop even claimed that Wack was an FBI informant in a since-deleted video.
My favorite hip hop platform, World Star Hip Hop. And I got some bad news. I found out that my big homie is talking to the cops.
Who's that? Who, me?
What do you think I should do to him?
Who's talking?
However, the roles have now been reversed. And on a podcast with Adam 22, Wack 100 claims that Brick Baby is working with the federal government after snitching on Durk and bringing down OTF.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
The allegations between Wack 100 and Brick Baby get interesting now. Months before Lil Durk and his fellow OTF members were arrested, Brick Baby had the feds raid his home. What's strange is that, despite being picked up by the feds and needing to be bailed out by Adam 22, no charges were ever filed against him. This, according to Wack 100, indicates that Brick must be compromised in providing the feds with information.
React to the narrative that Wack has been consistently putting out there, which is basically him saying that Brick maybe must be cooperating or compromised in some way because you allegedly got arrested by the feds and there's no charges. So what do you say when you see him?
Well, Wack 100 months later finally explained why the feds had bugged Brick's residence, claiming that the wacky Brick Baby had snitched on Durk and OTF on a podcast.
It wasn't until February of 2023 that Brick Baby goes on the internet with Flacco and says, out of nowhere, the world is oblivious to this. I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von.
No one claims that Von's death wasn't retaliation since OTF had removed Quando Rondo's relative, according to Brick Baby during an episode with Lyrical Flacco.
You can't say that no more.
Why? Oh, yeah, because of... Wait, no. Like,
They
who died?
say you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because...
The absurd part is that he wasn't the only one who snitched. Lil Durk made the same comment on the DJ Academics podcast when the rapper was asked what he thought about people encouraging him to slide for Von.
Triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think.
However, Durk claimed that there was a reason such remarks had long since vanished from the internet.
Nah, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
they kind of chilled out.
According to Wack 100, the feds obtained a search warrant following Brick Baby's truth-telling session on the podcast. Brick never disclosed that the feds had come for his cell phone at the time. Instead, he told everyone that he had been charged with a felony. Brick Baby's phone contained some pretty intriguing information.
The feds get on Brick. We don't know this. We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his self.
After Brick was never charged, things became even more suspicious because he has yet to receive a court date for his gun charge. This is odd because Brick is a gang member and a felon, and receiving a gun charge would put him in jail for a long time, according to Brick Baby. The reason for the lack of a court date is that the DA dropped his case due to insufficient evidence.
Why would the DA reject the charge
It's
of...
not they rejected. They just is not enough evidence for them. They got to look at the case and say, can I beat this in trial?
Brick is such a snitch, lying through that large gap in his teeth, but the comment section didn't have it and believed that he was undoubtedly snitching. They also said that capturing a felon with a gun charge is one of the worst things you can do to receive time. According to one comment, Durk and his crew are abruptly detained for being spies after a known member of the C Gang is found in his home with an AK-47 and sitting on a no-jumper. After Durk's indictment became public, WAC 100 put the cherry on top of Brick's coffin by revealing that the feds wanted Brick's phone because Tay suspected that he was working with OTF members on the day of the shooting and giving the hitman the location of Quando Rondo. Another fan wrote, Brick's story isn't adding up. Eventually, the court said, we're going to throw out your case because we don't think we can win.
If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's local.
WAC claims that following the shooting, the feds told Clue Rondo that his group, the Rolling 60 Crips, had set him up.
You think the police told Quando?
That the Rolling 60s.
As it turns out, Brick Baby and Quisto Rondo were both members of the same gang, and Quisto checked in with his gang for protection when he arrived in Atlanta.
What was he claiming?
Rolling 60 script.
Where Brick Baby from?
Rolling 60 script.
Who you think he checked in with?
Rolling 60s?
With who?
Okay.
Because the federal authorities were searching for the unidentified co-conspirator in Louisiana on the day that OTF members were arrested in Chicago, the rapper from Savannah took to social media to criticize his gang, saying that they didn't have his back. He also said the only person who could link Brick Baby to the case was missing. Interview 657/711. The fact that Brick Baby hopped on a track and spilled the beans there, not to mention that he was Durk and trying to hide, now that he's in a blunt, we dropped the 100 shots, go dig your partner up in another part, he raps the last one, we turned into a pack, and we got 1 million plus. The accusations against Brick Baby are becoming more obvious and public by the day, but he's not the only OTF affiliate who's accused of telling the truth, as one of Durk's closest friends has also been exposed as a snitch. His story is crazy, ranging from news reports about his baby mama's death to him accusing Durk of spying on him.
There's the rumor that's going around that there's an individual that goes by the name of OTF Jam, and they're saying that he wore a watch.
Things got worse for the OTF rapper after damning photos of him cozying up to the feds surfaced and went viral online. DJ Academics shared this image of the alleged snitch in an interrogation room, filling up on some fries and fried chicken, and the internet tore him apart. Since the day the news about OTF being shut down went public, one name has been repeatedly criticized for being an informant, and that person is none other than OTF Jam. Snitching on my man for some McDonald's is crazy, but another comment said, instead of I'm loving it, I'm telling it. 2 rumors have been circulating about why OTF Jam snitched on his man. One is that he was just being petty, but if the other is accurate, Durk is a very vengeful and evil man. It turns out that this man was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder, and that he was an informant who had been working with authorities for 2. The most bizarre aspect of all of this is that he supposedly wore a wire around Lil Durk and other OTF gang members, giving the government intelligence. During Jam's 12-year sentence for attempted murder, Lil Durk regarded Jam, a long-standing OTF member, as a brother. Durk supported him financially and made sure Jam's requirements were satisfied, including paying for his legal counsel.
That's sure. I don't give a nobody say like. I know I'm a real witness. Like a lot of niggas can't say anything. My whole time.
Additionally, The Chicago rapper went above and beyond by giving OTF Jam a house and car, as well as more than $50,000 in cash. So if you thought Durk would desert him after he got out, think again.
Facts. More than that. Like more than that.
But so, can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
No, we ain't gotta get into all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight.
Rumor has it that Jam was recently charged with firearms and faced the possibility of spending a significant amount of time behind bars. What's absurd is that, according to a well-known hip-hop comment, Durk declined to cover the cost of bond or Brody's attorney when he was kidnapped. According to Ader DJ scholars, Jam wasn't too happy with Durk and chose to come clean in order to avoid going to jail.
That he made a threat towards Durk. I've been holding you down because I heard you say something about like his baby mama called Durk for a lawyer, and Durk may have like brushed it off, and they're like, yo, you're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something. Like, I'm the guy who does the.
However, it gets worse than that because the second allegation is just plain evil. It turns out that Durk might have contributed to his baby mama's death, according to sources. Durk discovered that Jam had been wearing a wire all along in an effort to exact revenge. Durk pursued Octavia Redmond, the mother of his child, because he was aware that getting an FBI informant market could draw unwelcome attention from the federal government. The life of Octavia Redmond, a beloved postal worker in the West Pullman neighborhood of Chicago, was tragically cut short on July 19, 2024, at around noon. Octavia was in front of a Chicago home getting ready to mail when a stolen SUV pulled up nearby. The vehicle was later determined to be the getaway car, driven by a 15-year-old suspect. The suspect got out of the SUV and unexpectedly approached Octavia with a chilling intent. She was badly wounded on the ground after being shot many times at close range by the perpetrator, who then left the scene, and the 48-year-old woman in the stolen SUV was taken to Christ Hospital in critical condition and later declared dead there. The Chicago Police Department began a thorough investigation to find the suspect as soon as the shooting occurred, and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service also became involved and offered a sizable reward for information that led to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. They went to their X account and announced $250,000 for information that led to the arrest and conviction of the homicide suspect. To track the suspect's movements before and after the investigation, authorities used police and private camera footage. Shooting months passed while investigators worked tirelessly to bring the criminal to justice. The breakthrough occurred when the suspect was found in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and arrested on a murder warrant. If this is true, Jam must have realized he couldn't exact revenge on Durk by using the streets, so he chose to cooperate with authorities. The stolen SUV was identified, and an anonymous tip provided vital information that helped identify the suspect. It appears he may not be the only source of information. After reading Durk's indictment, VJVA posted on social media that he believes there are 3 snitches in the case, which suggests that OTF Jam and Brick Baby may not be the only ones collaborating. After closely reviewing Lil Durk's documents, I discovered 3 co-conspirators whose identities are concealed. One of them was one of the 3 shooters who arranged flights for the crazy thing is that Jam hasn't been mentioned in the indictment, which suggests that he may not be guilty. In fact, his operations, who are none other than King Yellow, started the rumor about him snitching. Shooters and another one told OTF about Q's location in Louisiana. These 3 co-conspirators are likely working with the feds against Durk and the other defendants.
Somebody named OTF Jam, they said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat.
Fans realized something was wrong when OTF Jam finally spoke out about the accusations. The OTF affiliate took to social media to correct the record and tell people to stop calling him a snitch until they saw his name on police documents. Don't criticize me till you see my artist's real name on the paperwork. Casey J. Hester, also known as OTF Jam. OTF Jam went further and accused Dario of snitching on him after he posted that the situation at OTF had gotten worse after none of the OTF affiliates co-signed Jam's attempt to support him, despite the fact that everyone was online yelling "Free Durk." He first disclosed that Durkio had snitched on him on a track, calling him a rat or a snitch, but was rapping snitch on themselves all the time. He was catching murders back then, so when he posted, Jam was discussing the song Back Again, in which Durk raps Jam and lets him go. "I given 50, I ain't got to ask again." Remember, OTF Jam had been released after serving time for attempted murder, and Durkee had given him 50 bands.
50, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The feds were on him, waiting for him to make a mistake and send him back to jail after they heard Durk sing about Jam capturing bodies. "He snitched on me in a song, and the police were all over me after that. Oh, he's catching murders. Let's get him." It's horrible to see Durk's affiliates stab him in the back, and Jam wrote that the OTF case is growing out of control and that more of his friends and affiliates are abandoning him. Lil Reese is one of the few survivors, and when word spread that Durkio had been arrested, everyone assumed that Lil Reese would post Durk like other Chicago rappers. However, he hasn't shown direct support for the OTF leader. Instead, he posted a picture of himself in jail with Durk's song "Love for the Streets." Rumor has it that Lil Reese and Durk are not on good terms, according to Chicago rapper King Yella. Durk was having an affair with Lil Reese's aunt and mother.
But Reese mama bad in the right?
Okay.
I heard Durk was his mama and his auntie.
However, it turns out that Chief Keef purchased a $500,000 chain after Lil Durk was arrested and has yet to write a message of support for the OTF boss, proving that he is not the only Chicago rapper who deserted the rapper following his imprisonment.
Keep bought same day Durk went to jail, up to $500,000 new chain.
It turns out that this isn't the only instance in which Keef has been criticized for not providing a homie's assistance. The first time Durk and Sosa had a falling out, he had gone and purchased a dirt bike rather than helping out Dario, and instead, someone stabbed Dario in the back. Mayor Katrina Thompson, who has been a vocal supporter of reform in Chicago, thought it was time to acknowledge the rapper's achievements and gave him several city keys, including the village of Bellwood and the village of Broadview.
Thank you, and we honor you, and we appreciate you being in the village of Broadview, and here's your key.
Despite his good deeds, the city's decision to revoke the keys to the city he had been given effectively threw Durk under the bus. The American legal system gives everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, but in the village of Broadview, the Court of Public Opinion of Residents has revealed that Durk had signed a partnership agreement with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation to work with students from both communities to help support sustainability projects in Bellwood and Broadview. Even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior, and our public partners must also reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents given the news that Lil Durk was arrested in Florida and charged with murder for hire. The Village of Broadview is also terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization, the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, and withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk. The mayor wrote that despite all the backstabbing, some of Durk's affiliates have remained strong and supported him, and an alleged jail call has. Amid the chaos surrounding his arrest last month, an intriguing development occurred on November 15th when an Instagram user going by the handle 900BraBra shared an audio clip allegedly featuring the OTF boss. This alleged jail call quickly went viral online because it was thought to be the rapper's first public statement since his arrest. The 2-minute conversation was thought to be his first public statement since his arrest. Despite the difficult situation, Lil Durk is heard being upbeat. He tells the caller that he is in high spirits and is determined to go back to his family. Dario also responds to a report that has been circulating about social media. The rapper vehemently refutes the rumor that he is in protective custody in the audio, claiming that he is not receiving any special treatment and is instead on the main line with other prisoners. The public's response to this claim was conflicting, with some seeing it as evidence of his tenacity. Others, however, continued to doubt the legitimacy of the call. The post description said, "Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk, and he is in good spirits, staying positive and fighting to get back home to his kids and family." It's truly an understatement to say that we're not celebrating negativity. We're more than just street people, men of honor, and although Lil Durk's Instagram activity suggests ties to the OTF label post featuring collaborations with OTF artists like Bonnie Mo and photos with Booka 600 and Lil Durk himself hint at a connection that lends credibility to the alleged call, the lack of official confirmation leaves room for doubt as the public continues to debate the legitimacy of the audio. However, this isn't the only time someone has claimed that Lil Durk has spoken to them while he's behind bars because an artist released a song with Durk providing a brief introduction. On November 1st, it was claimed that Durkio had spoken from prison in Hypno Caro's new song. When Hypno Caro released his most recent song, Smirk, he shocked the music industry. Go swiftly gained popularity due to the sensational claim that it contains a phone call from Lil Durk that was allegedly made from a federal prison. This alleged call is the first time Lil Durk has made public statements since his arrest. In the song, Lil Durk is heard declaring his unwavering devotion to Hypno Caro. "My brother from a different era, Hypno Caro legend, is gone, and I'll take over your streets." In the song's introduction, Durkio states, "You know what time it is. Rest in peace." Hypno Caro has been under fire from some who claim the call is fraudulent.